Thank you, sir.
Then it went. By then, I'm using the flow of the condition for learning outcomes. Yeah, as I said, first we should know different. First, we should know the meaning of the environment. Yes, what we mentioned as a learning outcome, but straight away it says to identify. Two is from here, right? Common one. To identify different elements of purpose or factors in the management environment. Right. After identifying, we have to describe it, especially the external environment and its effect on operations and performance of organization. Knowing that, we also should know how to describe the way organizations and managers try to adapt into the external environment. It's a short lesson, then other limitations we had in the other two lessons can be overcome, I think, from today, saving more time. Right. Then, as I said before, you can consider this and that lesson to share your learning point today in the quiz, classroom quiz. Right. Because on that day, we were not able to do that, no? Due to time limitation. It's a long topic. And it involves many theories, no? Theories, models, principles. You should know this. Even today, then most of them I apply in modern business tests. Right, then before we consider classifying environment, we should know the environment includes management environment or environment of management includes. You can write down that it has not been in there. Organizational environment or managerial environment or environment of management. Please write down this separately, yeah. Small definition about the environment. Environment of management includes or comprises or consists of different elements. Different elements. You can have strokes or slashes. There are similar words, no? Elements, what are the other words? Different elements, forces or factors. Affecting, no? Affecting or influencing, affecting. Affecting what? Affecting the operations, affecting the operations and performance of organizations. Environment of management includes different elements affecting the operations and performance of organizations. Right after that, you can have that. Then you can use the pronoun each. It is broadly classified. The environment of management. Those sentences are not full grammatical things, like points. It is broadly classified into two, no? Two colon words. The internal environment and the external environment. The internal environment and the external environment. Right. These are the two sides, two major sides or two major classifications of the environment. internal, external. All these are discussed for an organization, for a company or a firm. Right, then the internal environment includes the elements within the organization's boundary. Oh, it is another definition for that, no? The meaning of the internal environment. It brings the elements within the organization's boundary. Then what are the key internal environmental elements? There are three, no? Owners are separated here, right? Ownership is separated from management. The management first, no? Managers, so management. Then employees. Then culture of the organization. Management, employees, and culture of the organization. Some writers, especially writers in the internet, they are using employees commonly for both managers and non-managers. But here we have to have that understanding. They say the managerial employees and non-managerial employees. But here we have to consider managers separate from other interested parties, including employees. They only making decisions, not for the organization, to run it, to ensure its survival and growth in the environment. They are going to agents for the organization to make decisions and to carry forward. Employees should follow the commands or decisions of the managers, and they should support to implement those decisions made by them doing different jobs. That's how this part, this lesson and the words, those words should be understood. But differences, sorry, meanings would be differently seen in another situation. Situation to situation we have to follow. Now, understand. That is called a contingent view in management. Contingency view, situational view. When there's a diagram, everything has been placed there. The diagram is only textual forms. Okay, managers, employees, and the culture of the organization are the three major elements in an internal environment of the organization. Even this organization, Sri Lanka has no. It has a management, board of management. Then employees are also there. Then there's a particular way of accordingly this culture. Rules, regulation, philosophy, values, systems in the organization. Then both managers and employees should follow the culture. Even others, outsiders should learn and deal with that accordingly. That is common to any organization. That's why these three are considered as three elements in the internal environment of any organization. Then the second one, no? External can be further divided, no? Into another two. Right. The external environment includes element as first we have defined that. We should present the meaning of that. As we said for the internal one, no? Right. External environment includes all elements existing outside the boundary of the organization. And it continues that have the potential to affect the organization. We don't see regular influences, but direct environment, task environment can have regular effect. But the macro environment does not have regular effect. But now I think these days we have to change that understanding, no? Of the macro environment. It also can affect our lives societies, organizations, regulate society and by the natural environment. Right. Right. Time to time, then they have to change these meanings. Right. But these are the general statements given by the researchers or by the textbooks. Right. Then it is divided as task and general environment. Task. There are similar names for the both. For task, there are some other words like direct environment, task environment. Can you say it as micro? Then macro is used for the other one. Micro now. Task, direct. Then other one is the elements in the outer layer in the diagram. Is the general environment or indirect? Direct, indirect, or general or macro? Macro. Macro environment. Then after the coming diagram, the task environment is closer to the organizational box or the boundary. Then because of that, it can have the direct or regular influence to the operations and performance of the organization. Right. What are the key elements in the task environment? The most important group is the customers, customers, clients, then suppliers, then competitors, then labor market situation. That is also coming under the task environment. It does not go to the macro. Legal environment goes there. With the political, legal, political. These are labor market situations from which the labor is high, recruited, selected, and high. And it is closer. Regularly, managers can deal with it. Therefore, similar to other three, customers, suppliers, competitors, labor market forces are also considered here in the task environment. They have different influences, no? Customers will create demands for the organizations buying goods or services, no? For the other, they are very important to ensure the organizations provide demand based. Right. Then suppliers also will, based on the process, so channel, supply chain can provide raw materials, components, and other facilities for an organization. Therefore, they are not second to the customers. No? Even sometimes suppliers would be customers for some organizations. Suppliers can be individuals or another firm. Then competitors are important to understand how to compete in the market, to share the market share. And organizations can learn from competitors. Looking at their practices, organizations can think of their strategies and practices. Then all competitors can help booming the industry for the market. Their behaviors are affecting the whole industry. Then, as I said, that's how labor markets should be considered. Going there. Right. The last one, the general environment represents the outer layer of the environment. We call those forces as dimensions. That's the mostly used word for those similar words, elements, forces, with regard to the external environment. It's the best word dimensions. The dimensions influence the organizations timely, over time, no? Not regularly, but now we see there can be regular effects also. But often are not in only day-to-day transaction. And that is true. Daily basis we don't see effects. Then as I said before, you to asking from you to correct, no? The three elements given in the previous session at the top of the previous handout. These 6 elements can be used similarly as the key dimensions of the general environment or external environment. International or global dimensions, technological, economic, socio-cultural, legal, political, natural. Natural can be taken last, but it is the number one now. But still we think that globalization is the number one, which can have effect to other forces dimensions. So increase globalization. When people say no, the COVID also happened due to the increased globalization. Then for that, globally a solution should have been given. Then due to the increased globalizations, we see the drastical changes happening in the technological environment, in the ICT area, and in other technologies as well, robotics, no, AI. Right. Then all these can influence our social cultural belief, values, understanding, and lifestyles. Right. Then all organizations are operating in economies, especially now we see mixed economies, market economies. Then they should all of them are supposed to increase the wealth, including profits. Not only the profit, but the wealth maximization should be done as per the capitalism. Right. Then most government economies are now operating as market economies, no? Market economy. No pure economy. Mixed economy. Right. Then there are political, no? Ideologies, policies or political parties operating nationally, internationally. At the international level, it is said as global politics or global geopolitics. Finally, it happens, it influences the national politics as well. Then there are laws, statutes, ordinance, etc. No? In different areas. The intellectual property area also there are laws, so IP laws. Then in forming companies, there's another act of company laws. Right. Our one was revised in 2007 now. 1982 is not working now. So it's revised. Now we have the 2007. Right. There are other laws, no commercial laws, industrial laws. Under industrial law, there are many laws, no, like statutes, shop and office act, factory ordinance, forest. Using child labor, women labor, there are laws, regulations. TPF Act, TPF Act. Maternal laws. Business formation. In business formation, there are laws, no? Ordinances. Partnership law is there. Contract law. Contract is the key. Contract law. Then says of good ordinance. Many laws in different concepts areas. Right. Then at the international level, there are international laws, regulations, human rights, laws in human rights. All should be considered, no, as the influences to businesses, no, from the external environment. there are government rules, regulations, policies on budgets, finance, taxes, and so and modified. And they should understand it and try to engage the resources, not to match with it, not to violate it. Right. That's how this the impact of these dimensions should be understood. And I didn't now say about the natural environment, but I have mentioned this. It could be the most dominant one. Power crisis, energy crisis, hazards like fire, natural fire, volcanoes, earthquakes, landslips, floods, all happen. Tsunami, climate changes, global warming, all happening as parts of the natural environment, which cannot be controlled at all by people or by businesses. But they can come up with the particular alternatives, no strategies. Managers cannot control these, but controlling means they have to identify different solutions for these, no? As green management solutions, CSR activities, green management, business, sustainable movements to deal with these influences. Collaborations, which is collaborative strategies. Having HR, modern new HR practices, no? Finance and accounting practices, cost control practices, the management practices. So strategy should be developed based on the capacity of the organization, based on the value of the organization. Right. That is possible. No? Then we will have a diagram on that at the end of this lesson. To know how to adapt into these external environmental forces. Right, this is the set diagram with different colors. You can grab the things easily. Right. In the middle, we see a box, rectangular box, to indicate the internal environment of the organization. Then with the triangle, around a triangle, the three elements, they have not come properly. Management, employees, and culture can be placed. Then this the outer line is the organizational boundary line. It separates the internal environment from the external environment. In the external environment, there are two circles. No? The immediate circle presents the task environment. We described that and identified these the similar elements also. Now here in the diagram, the similar things are placed. Demonstrate. Right. These are the 6 macro environmental, general environmental forces or dimensions started with international or global dimensions. Then technological, then economic, socio-cultural, legal, political, natural. And then any questions or clarifications about the diagram? No. These are simple things. But consider these similar keywords. then the external environment causes the again described. And all elements are again described. This is the start of that. Right, the three elements in the internal environment are the managers, employees, and culture. Primarily, managers are responsible as agents for the shareholders mainly and to other stakeholders also. They are responsible for shareholders to ensure the high return, ROI, return on investment, and to communicate about the actual operations of the business. Right. There are many other responsibilities. These are the primary responsibilities. Right. Then employees can influence the organization in this way. No? They are coming from the workforce. The nature of the workforce is today changing. That is called workforce diversity. That's how employees should be understood. No? They are coming from different backgrounds to the organization. Then always, and now we see the high workforce diversity. Right. The workforce diversity is a collection of individual differences of employees. Individual differences. When they come to an organizational setting, it is said as workforce diversity. Workforce diversity. It is not bad, no? It is an opportunity today to do creative and innovative things and to enhance the gain competitive advantages. But Indian society is very good now, no? Highly diverse, but they are improving capability from the high diversity. As Sri Lankans, we have not gone up to the expectation because we are lacking strong policies at the national level. People have the talents, but they have not been united to do so by the policymakers and decision makers, politicians. But always we should not blame the politicians, no? At the micro level, firm level, we can do changes. That's why managers are. They are not to blame others, but to capitalize and find opportunities for the business. Innovative strategies in the people, employees. For developed countries, I think at least there are 1 to world recruited recognized firms. No? For South Korea, what are the popular firms? Samsung. Hyundai. Yeah. Japan also started in that way, but now there are many companies in high recruited companies in Japan. For other countries, Australia, New Zealand, and Nordic countries, no? They have their little orientation from particularly how much diversification at the national level as well as in their firms. Likewise, we also should develop at least 1 or 2 firms. That should be the international standard. Then our GDP can be double, triple. Then looking at that, there can be more foreign investment and local investment. That confidence should be developed. Yeah, like in the confidence. Yeah, for others. The natural resources cannot be marketed. We have to have the natural advantage is always the competitive advantage also. That's why managers are there. Managers are responsible to gain competitive advantages for the business or for the industry, utilizing resources wisely, innovative. Especially human resource should be used innovative. Right. then that's the role of the employees also, no? To develop and give the maximum contribution performance to the organization. But it can be done, no? Now workforce diversity is high in Sri Lanka as well. Our diversity level is also enough to do population. That's why they are saying that today's demographic profile is the tomorrow's workforce. There's a say. The last one, third one is the culture. That's the internal culture or corporate culture, organizational culture. That should be fitted. Finally, we will know that, as I mentioned, all organizations should be able to fit their cultures to satisfy the requirements or needs of the external environment through organizational strategies, not through any other. For that purpose, managers should formulate and deploy strategies appropriately. But these strategies should be fitted to the corporate culture, company culture. Then the strongest role is with the culture. Managerial decisions also should be made to match with the culture, to fit with the culture. Employees also should do perform to fit with the culture of the organization. That's how the corporate culture is important, huh? As the third element in the general environment. But being the third, placing it as the third element, we can't undermine the role of that. It may have the strongest effect to the other two elements in the internal environment. Through that, as a giant organizations like Microsoft, Toyota, Honda, McDonald's, Samsung, General Motors, or likewise BMW, Audi, as organizations, they can influence the large society. Large society means the needs, wants, lifestyles, habits of people in larger society. Global society can be influenced by it. But that has not been mentioned here. It says that always managers should be able to adjust to the external. But big firms, not giant firms, can do in the other way. They are designing the market requirements. No? They are setting the market norms, industry norms for this. But even with that, there should be accepted, no? Whatever the capacity of the organization, appearance in the market for a long history, still they should respect the external environment as much as possible. Otherwise, they can't appear, no, as the market leader in the long run. They can't develop in the long run. That's why even Toyota, as an example, following environmental standards, moving beyond the Japanese government rules. It does that voluntarily, going extra miles to follow the environmental standards. Understand that requirement. Environment is the number one. Protecting the environment is the final one. That is true, no? There should be an earth, no? Has to live, has to do the business. But Mersley, that CEO founder, is trying to set in Mars. That is a good view, no? Broader view, no? It justifies that if something happens in the to the earth, there should be an alternate. For him, that's the reason to do the experimentations about mass. Again. IT people also might have the same, no, but they ended up unexpected. I can submarine. They also might be having a similar focus. I mean, marine experimentations. The popular one is very close with the Sri Lankans, no? Sri Lanka, no? The news we saw that, no? He had an intention to establish, come back here and establish businesses, no? In Sri Lanka as well, no? I can't remember the name, the British guy. He's the CEO of that firm, no? Titan firm. But your dreams should be achievable as a CEO, no? Your dreams should be achievable as well. Not merely as only as dreams. It's like, no? I could have finished if I am using this one. I could have finished this lesson. Right. These are the elements in the task environment. The two are presented in this slide: customers, suppliers. Customers are the people or individuals and firms, those who acquire goods or services from the organization. No? Therefore, creating demand, presenting demand for the goods and services, they determine the organization's survival, not only success, but first survival, then the long-term success. Right. The suppliers provide resources and services to produce outputs, right, by the organization. The many companies have few suppliers, not only one, to minimize the risk. But importantly, whatever the number of suppliers, the company should be able to maintain good relations, close relations with the supplier. That is what we discuss as one buzzword under the contemporary management thoughts. No? What is that? Supply relationship management. SRX. Then with customers, the similar should be done. No? Similar one should be done. But that appears as customer relationship management. CRM, no? CRM. This is SRM. Those were discussed, no? Noted at the end of the previous lesson under the recent historical trends after systems theory and contingency theory. There we had the total quality management, total quality control as well as another new philosophy of management, the modern era. The other two are the competitors and labor markets. Competitors are the other organizations in the same industry or business providing similar goods or services. Then each industry is characterized by specific competitive issues. The Michael Porter's 5 forces model can be used, no, as the main tool to understand the nature of the rivalry, nature of the competition in a market. Even the SWOT analysis also can be used, but then using SWOT, we can easily use the 5 quarter. five process model introduced by Colombo. And where in center we see the rivalry of the competitors among competitors. Other four elements are the customers, customer power, bargaining power, supplier power, new entrants, and alternate substitutes. Those elements are deciding the nature of the competition among competitors in the market, the industry. Right. In planning, we will discuss it under strategic planning. Under planning, there is another lesson called strategic planning. After the general planning, then those models will be discussed. Model, Pestel model, there are many models. Even our four functions should be considered as a model framework. Planning, organizing, leading, controlling. What's the acronym given for that? First letters of four functions should be taken. P, O, LC model, POLC model. Planning, organizing, leading, controlling model. That's the first one we should not use as many. Is the model is the four functions. After that, we should use other things to match with the requirement. You can write down that the model is P stroke hyphen P hyphen O hyphen L hyphen C. Those are the first letters of the four functions in the management process. P from planning, O from organizing, L from leading, C from the last one. That model, management process model, can be considered as the POLC model. Right. Then labor market represent people in the environment who can be hired to work for the organization. But there are some other bodies also, no? In here, those are the labor unions, employee federations or associations, and some other employee classes influencing on this. Different employee classes. In the world countries, those are there. It's like then gay people, but in Sri Lanka we don't see. But we have politicized labor unions. That is very crucial in Sri Lanka. Very politicized labor unions in different employee areas. Doctors have, nurses have, even lecturers have. Right. Railway people have, CED people have. Those are very crucial. All these come under those come under this labor market in Sri Lanka. They have a very close effect to the operations of an organization. But in Japan, it is an alternative. No? After the second World War, Japan has been having enterprise trade unions, enterprise, the company specific unions. They are very corporate. They are not much powerful as here. But similar to that, most government practice like branded MAs have introduced JCC, Joint Consultation Committee. It is somewhat similar to the Japanese company specific labor unions. They are corporate with managers. And they do a lot to employees also. Our politicized labor unions do nothing for members. They make political decisions. Members are only gathering for sake of gathering. They are very rude for the management. Therefore, as a solution, we can fully apply the Japanese model enterprise unions here. That is the JCC that should be introduced. We have a lot of fruitful results from that. Many government practices in different zones have introduced. But JCC is a traditional method, no? That was taught, no, by us even during our undergrad periods. Doing consultation. The traditional labor union method practice. But JCC means Joint Consultation Committee. It's a small team appointed in an organization, within an organization, similar to the Japanese company specific unit. Right, I think we are getting some other things also about the practices. Can relate them also, not only the theories now. So, there is also expanded. Right. Then the general environment, global or international dimension is the number one. They represent events, different events and scenarios originating in different countries in the world. Therefore, this provides a new competitors, new customers, new suppliers, and they shape the other dimensions also, as I mentioned. The increased globalization is shaping other trends also, no? Technological trends, economic trends, socio-cultural, and so political, legal. All are changeable due to the impact of this. Then, to address this, managers should engage in cross-cultural management. They should consider acknowledge cultural differences in operating overseas. The same strategy, communication strategies, and negotiation strategies, market share segmentation strategy, advertising and promotional strategies would not work equally over different cultures. Country can be considered as a different culture in that sense. Even there are language differences, no? Differences in language, differences in the values, beliefs, customs. Even their food, beverage customs are different. No? Indians are not eating beef. Pakistan people are not eating pork. We are eating anything. Companies can easily adapt. That is in a country like Sri Lanka. And McDonald's should not have to pay burgers and other things in these different countries having different food values, their beverage customs. Otherwise, there can be threats and oppositions to them. There can be protest from the general public. They would not buy. Right. Technology includes scientific and technological advancements in a specific industry as well as in a society at large. In recent years, decades, this is very massively changed. No? Right. Now we are in an era where 4G applications have come to the forefront. 4G or 5G? Industrial revolution. Stage is 4, no? We are in the fourth. We will the last part of the 4. Where AI, etc. can be seen. Industry 4G. Industry 4.0. Then to improve the productivity rate, companies should use the new technologies, no? As other businesses, similar businesses are doing. Otherwise, they can't gain competitive advantage from cost cutting, from visualization and entering into schema and acquiring new customers. Even sometimes retail, they can retain the current customers if they are not using new technology. Because Sri Lankan farmers can't use new technology. Cultivation and other cultivation. Drone technologies, etc. should be used. Indian farmers have been not using. Then we can improve the productivity, improve the quality, increase the durability of the farming items. Even now, we said generation is more with the younger generation is more with the technologies and the consequences or outputs of the technologies. Not like us. Right. Those are the socio-cultural changes. Socio-cultural changes. Even changes happening due to the generational changes. Generational changes. There are 3 generations. X, Y, Z. Y is the millennials. Another name for Y is millennials. But now the before one is what? Oldest one? Baby booming. Now it is over. Our grandfathers, grandmothers. They are not holding jobs. They have retired. Right, then economic, as I said, most current world economies are operating as market economies or mixed economies, no? But they keep ongoing ties, they tie together, no, with regional agreements or through trade organizations like World Trade Organization. There are agreements like NAFTA, then BITS, G8, G7, likewise. Asian, I guess those days, they are still operating well, no? Asian tigers. We belong to the SARC summit, SARC region. But in SARC also there are a lot of changes. Now we have come to the lower stage. Economic capacity, no? Vietnam, not in the SARC. Yeah, and Bangladesh, no? Improved lot. Productive GDP wise, it improved lot. In Bhutan is number 1 right there. In the happiness index, people happiness index and the greed index also. India would be overtaking the USA economy, no? As right as coming after a few years, no? Ahead would be the second largest economy in the world, next to China. Even now, both are achieving about 6%, no, GDP. World GDP level is, I think, around 1.5 to world one. Now they are above the world one. It's China. Then Asia would be the strongest one region. No? But we have predicted that before many decades. No? In decades. Even I remember that. Somewhere from 90s, it was said, no? People were saying that Asia would be the number one. Still, we have not achieved, but there are signs of achieving that. We are closer to that. But Japan is the pioneer, no, in this. Japanese are the pioneers. Japan is the pioneer. Now it is at the top maturity level, India and Japan. Others might copy Japan. Right. Japanese copied Europe and US, then other Asians, no? latecomers have copied Japanese. Legal and political includes government regulations at the local, federal, state level, as well as at the global level. These political activities are influencing organized company behaviors and their decision-taking capacities. Therefore, managers must also recognize a variety of pressure groups, work within the legal political environment, and influence in the firms to know how they operate, conduct businesses ethically, as well as socially responsible manner that touches the business sustainability challenge of organizations. To be sustainable, they have to conduct businesses ethically as well as in a socially responsible manner. For that purpose, companies do different things. Number one is providing a minimum product or service to the customers. That's the number one. After that, they can look after other these activities. But that's the number one. That should be the number one. Even small vegetable sellers, fish sellers, fruit sellers in Sri Lanka should know that. Number one is what? Selling a high quality and reliable product for the customer. Right. That's how legal political environment should be understood by any organization in different scales. But those are equally applied for small outlets, sellers, individual sellers as well. Not only for the multinationals. But multinational firms have been using this, from the history. Even our tobacco, Coca-Cola, beer, Nestle, they have been doing. Toyota Lanka Private Limited, they have been doing a lot of CSR activities, in the forms of giving donations for school children and undertaking new projects like water projects, helping farmers, helping villages, constructing some bridges, roads, likewise, yeah. So donating uniforms for school children. They have understood the timely effect of legal political environment of the prevailing country. Right. At the global level, this is very complex because, as I said, in the global marketplace, there are different host cultures, different cultures. Country represent a particular culture, different culture. There are regional differences. World map, if you look at the world map, there are different parts of the map. Even one area can be further divided. As an example, Africa can be divided further. North Africa, Central Africa, South Africa, like America. They are divided in 3 ways. North American countries, South American countries, and Latin America. Asia can be definitely divided as Central Asia, Middle East, South Asia, East Asia, Southeast, like that. But that's how legal, political, even natural process also can be identified in the same manner, dividing the countries as per the world map. Right. It includes threats as well as opportunities. Given in the both ways as challenge, threats and opportunities. Then there are different influences coming as raw material shortages, increased cost of energy, increased pollution, natural disasters, all are highly visible today. by the entire world. Now we see water problems. Now even we said that all reservoirs, the water level has gone for the 27 or 26 level. Again, power cut is possible now, unless they are using on fuel to operate the power generation. For its configuration, it is too expensive. But the best thing is they should have given some subsidies to have solar power by the individuals. There are affordable people, number of affordable people, no? They like doing that. That should have been the best solution. Then hydropower would not be a much problem. We need not to go for highly expensive plants. As I said, there's a problem in that way. Policy level. For some reason, they are not doing it. They have understood the importance of that. Goodness of doing that has already been understood by it. But they are not doing that due to some other reasons. Narrowed down individual aims. We will discuss these further and have a recap. Right, next one is the last learning outcome to know how to adapt it to the external environment. Those elements or factors. Then we can use two diagrams to understand that. This is the first diagram coming. Right. Then finally, managers should know how to adapt into the external environment. Here, environment means the external environment. Then first they have to analyze, identify the uncertainty levels. Uncertainty level of the environment, external environment. For that purpose, they have to consider the different factors. Now we discuss under the 6 pillars. Right. Then the identification of the uncertainty level in these factors can be placed in the horizontal level. Number of factors affecting or determining the uncertainty level. Then it can be scaled from low to high. If it is on the left area, it is low. The uncertainty level is low. If the point comes to the right side, then the uncertainty level faced by the firm is high. Right. That is one. Then adapting means responding, doing changes, internal changes. That's the one, no? Not any other, no? That's what I say. Manager should identify the complexity level of the external environment that cannot be controlled, but they have to identify that. Identifying that, they have to identify what? The kinds of changes they should use as the strategies of adapting. Right. That goes to the vertical level. It is said that the rate of the change, whether it is accelerated or slow, or it is a planned change or unplanned one. There are different types of changes. Planned, unplanned, radical, likewise. But in this diagram, we have to consider the rate, speed of the change. Right. It is also scaled into the two, no? Low scale or low speed and high speed. As we drive a vehicle, no? So in that situation, we have to accelerate and have the brake. Right. Then in this analysis, the company identifies the low uncertainty, then it can introduce changes in a low scale, low speed. Right. If it has identified high uncertainty levels, like high complexity, but finally the industry that should be brought to the industry level. Industry level. All these should be learn about the industry. Industry, yeah. Because any organization belongs to industry or a sector. Right. Yeah, environment is the sector or the industry. Yeah. Right. Then complexity of the industry should be understood. It can be scaled either low or high. Then to match with that, the particular speed of change, internal change should be determined. It is also either low in a low speed or high speed. That's how. But here, no hard and fast rule applied. Managers to know how to see the place of the complexity. But there are strict rules they should use to identify the strategies, identify the changes. It should be done systematically. But no any particular method given as a single method to understand the environmental complexity. But there are different strategies used for that methods or analysis models. One is SWOT analysis. But it is used to analyze both the environment. But to analyze the external environment, there are special models like pestle model, pest model, pestle model. Now there are new letters added to that. At least a company should do a SWOT analysis. Right. There are certain opportunities should be understood from the external environment. But to know how to deal with the change, other part, definitely they should know strengths and weaknesses. Strengths and weaknesses of them and of competitors. Therefore, best thing is to do a SWOT analysis. Here. Not only the pestle type analysis. Then again, a SWOT should be done. No? Right. Then this is somewhat clear to you, but this is not much clear to you. Then we will move to the next slide to understand this part clearly. Yeah. Right. The slide communicates some strategies for the external environment also. No? To know how to, who should be responsible to scan the environment. Then those are mentioned here. Then the organization should be able to, people in the organization should be able to play, not all actually, the selected ones should be able to play the boundary spanning roles. Boundary spanning roles. Those roles can be played by mainly a department. No? People in different departments should do that. Right. That is to link the organization with the key elements in the external environment. Right. Then mainly now it should be done by the HR people. Today now the strategic role has been given to the HR department or to the board of directors. But they should consult, HR people should consult senior managers, strategic, all in strategic positions. Then with the consultation of the senior managers, the HR people can identify strengths and weaknesses of the people in the organization and if any gaps in the respected level, they can organize a training program on leadership development, developing soft skills, like in other areas also, public relations, budgeting, capital budgeting, cash flows, cash flow management, funding, what else? Project management, other technical areas as well. But before that, some departments should take that responsibility. As I said, with the consultation of the city managers, mostly nowadays it goes to the HR people. Right. But idea generation can be done by any people in any department, even marketing people. No, since they are much closer to the changes in the market, they can bring a lot of information. Right. Any of these roles should be played by any department or any group in the organization with the consultation of the senior manager. Then, knowing the boundary panels, now they should detect and process the information about the ongoing changes happening in the environment. For that purpose, they can use these different methods: business intelligence, competitive intelligence. As I mentioned, sales people have those capacities, no, than HR people. Right. Therefore, this information should be gathered from people in the market. And then, good example is getting these things from sales forces. Or otherwise, they can use modern information systems used with big data analysis, big data analytics, right? Clouding. Then with these also, then ICT people can do that. The other departments, no, ICT people. They know those techniques, no. But a senior manager should identify these resources and the capacities, should engage people in the boundary spanning roles. But outsourcing these capacities would be a threat to the organization. These are very sensitive information, no? Therefore, organization should be careful to use outsourcing, outsiders in this. Inside people should be used. If no capacities, then better to trainings, organize training, like training trainers and training people. Or at the selection level, try to select such people. There's a trend of them, more demand for people having those analytical skills. And those people should be recruited. If no such people rightly in the organization, testing is another strategy, but they have to pay a lot. That's why our educational institutes also now have started such programs, no, in business analytics. It comes from as a market demand, industry demand, environmental demand. Right. Those are the ways that those educational institutes engage in this one, analyzing the environment and adapting. That's how they have to, change their curriculums. Recently, I can see Sri Lanka introduced that BSAA, BSc honors in business analytics, and another MBA, 2-year research-based MBA also. Then definitely the board of management might give the hint for that. Then it recruited external consultants, but they are academics, not competitors. No, those external consultants are supporters. With the contracts, they might ask from them, those senior lecturers, professors, prepare a concept paper. Now it has implemented. It has been implemented. And then in Sri Lanka, there can be boundary spanners, no, playing those roles regarding these two programs. But for a business like this, changes mean mainly the change in the current programs, curriculum. or evaluation, assessment. Right, then another thing is having inter-organizational partnership. That's what I mentioned. This is in academic, no? Academic area or educational sector. Then people, experts from another institution in the same sector should have been contact to prepare that curriculum. No? It has happened here. That is called inter-organizational partnerships. Right. Reducing boundaries and increasing collaborations with other organizations. Managers should shift from adversarial orientation to a partnership orientation. They should know they know everything always, but they should know what they are not knowing. Till that they have to have collaboration. That has happened here, no? As I said, that's the theoretical principle. Concept behind the practice. Right, then another one is having mergers, joint ventures, and other strategic alliances. Right, but it has not happened. This will proceed, no, as an independent campus. I don't know whether no, this is having no collaborations only, not mergers, acquisitions. But in future, that also can happen, no? If it cannot satisfy the changes, then this is the solution. To go under one big firm, big institution. But it may be having joint ventures, no? Joint ventures, licensing of other foreign universities in USA, Australia. It is there. The same accreditation, right? Accreditation certificates can be used, but we should pay an annual subscription for that. Like in ISO certification, some education institution should gain standards or accreditations from other bodies to enhance their image and goodwill for the brand. Right, then whatever the strategy finally, those should be accepted by the corporate culture. The third element we identified in the internal environment. The managers and employees cannot do what they like personally, or all decisions made for the organization should match with the culture. Right. Now we will identify that. Culture is defined as the set of key values or core values, beliefs, understanding, and norms held by members of an organization. They all should share, respect it. Right. The concept of culture helps managers understand the hidden complex aspect of the organization's life. As we have life, organizations also have life, such. That is culture. Then it is a pattern of shared values and assumptions about how things should be done or how things are happening, including how decisions should be made for the organization. It is common to both managers and employees. In this diagram, I can show those two parts of the culture. All these are seen in the national culture. So, like as Sri Lankans, we have all these in our Sri Lankan culture, country culture. All people in different countries have. Right. But here we discuss all these for an organization, for a business organization. Right. What we can easily see in the organization are the artifacts. That is the main part. If we consider iceberg, the visible part of the iceberg above the sea water level can be symbolized to that. Then land buildings, color, logos, vision statements, people behavior, people sport, cafeteria, garden, all arrangements and behavior. What we can see as human and non-human things can be the artifacts. The hidden part of the iceberg is not seen, no, well seen. That is below the water level. It is the hidden part. And similarly, the abstract things like assumptions, beliefs, values of form of the people, of the members, can be go to the second part. That's the most difficult part, very important part. The artifacts would be the results of this hidden part. Right. But there is a interrelationship of the two. Sometimes even in our houses, no, we see these two family members' behavior and the family outlook or the outlook of the house. Right. Then even sometimes the outlook can determine our way of thinking, way of pattern, way of life. Then both have interrelation, interconnection. Sometimes if the company has been producing high quality products, offering high quality service, right? It can affect its image and people thinking, their values can be again modified. Practically, I think both the interchange. That's why the two arrows are going into the both sides. Then we have come to the last part. Then using strategies as low speed and high speed strategies or changes can be understood with this. Here there are four small boxes, no, in the diagram. Four rectangular diagrams, boxes. Right. These four boxes indicate four alternative corporate culture-oriented strategies that managers can use to adapt into the external environment or in doing changes. Right. Therefore, in this diagram also there are two sides. In one side we see the nature of the adaptation to the environment or nature of the environment or nature of the industry. Environment means that a company should consider its industry. Yeah, it operates. Right. The nature of the industry should be understood as either stable industry or a very volatile or flexible industry. Right. That is seen in the horizontal level, horizontal side. Then particular strategic focus used to do changes or strategic orientation can be considered in the vertical side. Then there are two ways of doing that. Two orientations of the strategic changes. One is that can be done with the internal focus. Another the other opposite one is what? Doing changes with the external focus. Those were the things we had looked on the previous slides. Right. If companies are using their own resources, not with other external collaborations, then it uses the internal. It has the internal focus to do changes. But the two of the focuses can be done irrespective of the nature of the industry. In both the situations, the two ways can be done. That's how the four places come here as four alternative strategies. Therefore, we can say one is better than the other. It depends on the situation and the resources in hand and the nature of the industry. Sometimes the same can be continued based on the past experience. If using the one in the past, it has gained a lot, then it can be continued. It may be continued. But that is the contingency view. Right. If managers have gained nothing using a particular strategy, then they will change, go for another in the future, in the next time. Then here what we see, the environment or industry is very flexible, volatile. Then it is very high. Managers might be understood it as very high. Because of that, that is not the reason, actually, only reason. We assume because of that, they have gone for the external focus to do changes. And external focuses, what we can identify as different alternatives, mergers, acquisitions, those things, joint venture. They go for the external outsourcing, those things. Then that culture strategy is named here as what? Adaptable. Those managers are using adaptable culture strategy. Then we will we discuss this one. Then next we should discuss the opposite one. That is better. Then we can easily explain it. Here the two things are opposite. Right here opposite. The company is in a stable environment. It may more rely upon the internal capacity. That might be the key reason for that. Or it may be the this may not be the only reason for going internal. But we assume that as we assume here, in the industry is very manageable, then because of that, they may rely upon the internal current capacities. Right. If that is the case, as mentioned in that box, those companies or managers are using the involvement culture strategy. Sorry, consistent culture strategy. Consistent. Right. In other two, one is different. One is one is different. Another is similar. Right. Right. If we take achievement culture strategy, then the organization is in a stable environment, right? But at the same, despite that, it does not rely upon internal capacities. It may undervalue that. But because of that, though the company is in a stable environment, industry, as per the achievement culture strategy, it has gone for the external sources to do changes. It is not bad actually. It might be thinking we can't go for the expected thing with our own resources. Therefore, as an alternative thing, we will use external resources. That is not bad. Right. The aim is to reach to the expected level, no? Change level smoothly or easily. Right. That may be the belief the managers had. Right. But here, this is the best one, I think. Very independent. Not interdependent, not less interdependent and more independent. They know that the company is in a volatile environment. Nature is very complex, but they try to use their own resources, internal resources, capabilities to do changes. Right. That is more independent. Right. Right. Yeah, all these have been again explained in the other slides. We will have a look on them also. But I already explained the things in this video. To use adaptable culture strategy, the firm requires to do fast responses and it is a high risk decision making. Then here managers value the company's ability to rapidly detect, interpret and translate responses to the environment. As an example, cosmetic manufacturing companies like there are many Swedish companies and other companies. They have to, I think, do this. The customer needs are very highly changing. No? Right. To par with that, I think, as given here in this example, these cosmetic manufacturing firms might be using mostly adaptable culture strategy to deal with the external environments. Right. Then achievement, culture strategy suited to serve specific customers without intense need for rapid changes. Then this is the result-oriented culture strategy. So that's why it is said as achievement-oriented. But they do a lot of innovative, hardworking initiatives and try to develop the competitiveness. Then, as mentioned here, mostly professional firms might be using this one. They have a task culture, high achievement orientation, even project. So yeah, audit firms, accounting firms, consultancy firms may be using this one. Is it true? True, no? They have much achievement orientation. The members should pass the exams. They should be qualified. They have to gain practical experience with hard work. Sometimes payments are not satisfactory, but they have to do that. But after qualifying, they may be getting a lot of rewards. Lot of deadlines are there. Then they have to complete the task or not before the deadline. The last two, we can finish the whole lesson now at the tree. Environment culture emphasizes an internal focus and try to adapt to the rapidly changing environment. These organizations highly value on employees and customer needs and corporations. Examples are oil refinery firms like Galle, BP, Indian Oils, IOC. IOC. Now some companies are about to come to Sri Lanka, but not yet come. Sinapec should come first. But Minister has said middle of September it would come. So yeah, in September it would come. Then Caltex, ExxonMobil, even gas companies, no? Shell Gas, Electro, they might be using this strategy involvement. No? Yeah, these are highly high-tech companies, no? Because they cannot rely upon others. They have developed those capacities. Historically, these are they are using high-tech machines. Then, as mentioned here, they have to depend on their own resources. Maintaining the particular quality, but they have to supply, the required capacity and required locations. For that purpose, they are having geographical hubs in different countries like Singapore, Dubai. We can have them. It's very, very good. Can use our hub. Those are the areas we are looking, no, but pure industrial businesses, no. We have to, look after the logistics, international logistics. Yeah, in that hub, in the world map, the government should enhance the confidence. Then they will come and do things. You can simply gain foreign exchange, billions of trillions of foreign exchange in 5-10 years. Then if that is improved, then there are a lot of opportunities, no, to other businesses in different sectors. Tourism can be drastically enhanced, no? Tourism, retail, exportation can be improved. Exports and services can be massively improved, no? Services, supportive services. Then there can be some new universities, no? Like universities in marine logistics, special universities can be set up. Then project management subject is very important, no? For all these project management. All are happening as projects. The last one, consistency. It uses an internal focus and a consistency orientation for a stable environment. Very independent, highly follow rules, procedures, methodical, rational, bureaucratic, no orderly. But all organizations below having consistent projects can have this type of cultural orientation strategy. People in constructions is not much change, Technologies are not changing. Is it changing now? No. It's somewhat stable, no? Construction industry compared to other industries. Then education, government organizations belong to this. They are very methodical, bureaucratic. They are following circulars, rules, procedures, as mentioned in the bureaucracy, introduced by Maxwell under the classical data, classical perspective. Right, that's what now we should consider here. They are very important, I think. Without knowing this, I think we can't study management and we can't do jobs. We can't think of how things should be happening, should be happening in a country or in the world or in an organization. Therefore, environment related things should be known first. But we have to update. Yeah, change it. Few things are happening. But we can't forget the all things. Right, then with this we will have a break for about 15-20 minutes. 15 to 20. Coming back, then our next task is to have the quiz, quiz. Right. I think today we can at least study a case, one case after the quiz. Because we finished all lesson at the tea break today. Right, online members also can have your own refreshment. Take in about 15 to 20 minutes. Coming back, we will continue our session. There we will start from our quiz, individual quiz. Today you can consider this lesson as well as the previous lesson we discussed on the other day. Not the first one. We had a quiz on first one. It is up to you to select and explain your point from the two. Where's the attendance file? It was not brought, not today. It's a different one. Yeah, can one of you remind that to the office? You are not having it? No need. Need to have. Can you understand the things I communicate? Right. Correct file. No? Yeah. The last day I asked you to remind me, no, to get the revision questions for previous. You didn't have the review questions, no, for the last one. We didn't have time. I will check with others. Shall we start that? Maybe out, but they can come and join, no? Right. Online members will do accordingly. Save time. Right. Any line point stating clearly selected from this today's lesson or from the previous one, no? Is possible. Right. Then I will follow the order. Veerasinghe is here. 001. Now, right. Janika. Right. Then can you give me your learning point from any lesson? Right. They are the three historical things we studied now in the last. That is clear now, right? Even others will consider these as the ones belong to the classical early historical in management. In management. Next one, Ramukkan. Number 3. You have come from Ramukkan also? No. By the way, travel daily. Today it is possible. This one Ramuk Galle 004. Right now. Pilika. Ayar Jayasinghe. What's your answer? Huh?
Situation. Content changing person among them.
You talked about the system theory. I think it. How managers should demonstrate that? But they should, how they can use system theory?
Basically,
Yeah, they need to have what kind of view about the organization? How they should see the organization as per the system thinking? That's what before going there, and you can touch the very recent points. No, as we read, what are the things now you are going to communicate about the system theory? Then you can answer the question I asked. Automatically, then you will answer it. Can you brief about the system theory? How you can teach your friend about system theory?
I give you example like manufacturing.
Before giving an example can be given later. Can you briefly explain the concepts of the explanations we gave about system theory in the class using the particular slide or something? What it means, what it says about the organization or about managers. Can you wait and move to another point? Oh, you try to do the same. Right. Yes. Even from today's one, you can share a very reasonable point. What is that?
Yes, and
But you said okay, but not properly presented, no? As we can hear and share. Yeah, in about the two sides, in using a consistent culture strategy, then the organization identifies the environment as a stable one. Having said so, then to do the strategic orientation, to have a strategic orientation, it will mainly relies upon the internal capacity. No? Then strategic focus is internal. It is in a stable environment. Then for such an organization, as per the diagram, the involvement culture-oriented strategic change strategy is applicable. Likewise, see, calm and patient and present. Don't be panic. Right, then we skip Veerasinghe number 1 and Amukvel number 4. Now they are here. No. Right, then MR Jayasinghe number 7. Available now? All right. What did you learn going? I wish I have this.
two elements of environment of management: internal environment and external environment. Internal environment included in within the organization boundaries. It's composed of current employees, management, and corporate culture, current culture of organization. External environment include outside of the boundaries of the organization. It's comprised task environment and general environment. Task environment close to the organization and directly influence basic operation of the company. It includes customers, suppliers, and competitors and labor market.
Yeah, telling that is one is enough. But have you try to explain more? Yeah, the understanding should be presented very clearly, strongly. That is the main idea of particular quiz day. Then if we do these in 10 times, you can have a good knowledge. Right, then number 9. The name? We record, no, sorry. By the block letters, right. We record, right. What's your learning point?
Learning point is scientific management from a specific perspective.
Right.
Scientific management developed by WTA. It focuses on scientific methods to determine the jobs and management practices to enhance efficiency and labor productivity. It includes developing science for each elements of work, scientifically select, train, teach, and develop the workers, cooperate with the workers.
Strict supervision, no? Then how to motivate workers? Wages. At least 5 such principles should be noted. But you followed a good way, top-down approach. So we will talk about that and what's the focus of that. Then after that only we have to identify the specific principles, points given by. That's how an explanation should be, proceeded. The top-down approach. Straight away, you are not supposed to give an example. In an exam also it is not expected. No? Example should come later. Before that, you have to explain the concept. Right. So, to convince that with the reader, we are selecting and giving an example. No? Like spice. If spice only would not work, there should be something as to cook, no? Right. Okay, right. Madhushani, number 10.
Influence of political and legal institution of organizations on field. Example of the political process are political government regulations, the role of the government.
Right. But later I told that, as discussed today, have all the elements, no? All about the influence, trends, affecting management practices, principles and practices. Right, this one, YG Summer Code 11. Right. Management perspectives.
There are two elements of the management perspective. perspectives. One of the earlier historical trends, there are three types of historical trends, classical and humanistic and quantitative.
Actually, these are not the two elements, no? How you can call the two baskets? How you can call? Or you can use those terms. There are two baskets available. Put the historical trends in management. You said then, no? Early historical trends, one basket. Right, Pesha? Don't misuse the terms. Right. Once you wrote, they will remain, no, throughout. You are not there. Your writings only communicate with others, especially in writing, especially also in speaking. No, use the things properly. Yeah. That's how effective communication can be achieved. Effective communication. But in most of the times, even in our day-to-day life, we don't see that. No, people intentionally sometimes they misuse the words. Because of that, there can be a lot of problems happening to them as well as to the other part. Right. Then number one, in whatever the activities, teaching, learning, doing jobs, communication. At least try to improve that. You will forget these buzzwords later, but try to improve your lifelong communication. But no one is perfect. Till we die, we have to improve that step by step. Okay, right. Then can you again tell us back?
Historical trends are divided by three categories: classical perspectives, humanistic perspective, and quantitative for the management science perspectives.
Right. That is about the first basket, no? Right. Okay, then we will let another two have fill the other basket. Right. Then next one is Saman Mali, number 12.
Adaptability culture, achievement culture, involvement culture, and consistency culture. In the consistency culture, uses an internal processes and consistency orientation for a stable environment. Highly followed in this culture, highly followed rules and procedures, methodical, rational, and orderly. For the example of this culture, construction industry, government organization, and education organization.
There should be in a stable environment, no?
Yeah.
But culture has many types. We consider here culture as the corporate culture, organizational culture. But similar ideas can be taken to the national level. Then we see national culture. Then we have to consider the country as the unique. But here our unity is what? Organization. Firm or company. Yeah? You right, be careful. Use this. Not only management subject in anything. You have to be very specific. Right. Then this quiz has different names. Different names, not only to tell the point. It is a broader one. You have to develop your different skills, knowledge, attitudes, professionalism, and everything. Right. How about the 1-3-13? Same sort, no? No. The level? 7? Too much. Better reduce at least to 5. You all feel, no? So what outside is also important. Right, sorry for interrupting. What you were telling? Yeah. Then it's going. On the last day we discussed. Yeah, it's a recent trend in management, right? Competitive era is over, ne? Because of that now companies try to collaborate each other. Even today we noted, no? In adapting to the environment. Then can you give an example for collaboration, business collaboration? It is one broader term, some special words located under that. That is one such collaborative practice. Even you do this, you may be using this. Open collaboration, online collaboration, likewise. No? Then joint ventures, mergers and acquisitions, partnering. I think some similar words have been used. Next one, Jayakudi. Sorry, Jayasingh, KDT Jayasingh, 1414. Last day also absent. Today is not here. Today as well. I have made a dot. .com tam adhigata made. .com member. Right, next one, Sudarsha, 15. Sudarsha. Oh, Sudarsha is not seen today. Then another .com. Abhay Gunawardhana, 16. Abhay Gunawardhana, 16. What's your answer? Abhay Gunawardhana. Those are identified, no, in our class as recent historical trends in management. No? Another book can present a different thing, right? It is possible. Right? We can use only one at a time. But almost all these are similar. Right, next one, Lian again, 17.
Which is comes under the recent
Historical trends.
historical trends, which is a part of the evaluation of management thinking. Basically, brings the focus on managing the total organization to deliver better quality to their customers. We can take an example as customer focus, global focus, leadership focus, likewise.
These are some PQM principles. No?
Yes. And in practical, we can use it as 5S, which we are using mostly in Sri Lanka, and as well as Six Sigma theory, and the Kaizen and Lean management method, which is introduced by Toyota.
All these are TKM oriented practices, techniques. 5 years provide the basis. There are other things like Kaizen, total productivity maintenance, just in time. Six Sigma, Bohrisch model, European model, Lemin model, ISO are frameworks, TQM oriented quality management frameworks, international frameworks. Companies can use them as self-assessment and models. This is my actually, I am these days writing a book also on quality management in Sinhala, in local language, with English glossaries. Some students asked from me, then I thought of now I am doing nothing, then I thought of doing this. So half is over. It took about 3 weeks. In another 3-4 weeks, I think I can do. But finally, it takes more time to wrap up that to be a textbook. There should be a glossary, index, table of contents, some examples, new examples should be inserted if those are not enough. I have included some case studies also. International case study. One wanted to log with that. Is it good, no? Even business people can buy that, no? Not only students, I thought some businessmen, Sri Lanka will buy. I should earn a profit also. I have been selling 8 other books in management from 2000. I didn't change them. Still, there's a good demand. Not only for money making, actually, it is one objective, additional one, but we better do something, no? Right, in writing. In addition to international English papers, but then nobody is reading and using it. At least if you use local language, somebody will read and use. No? Because we have to, do the things for the country. After that, we can think of international papers, contributions. But first, we have to contribute to our country, whatever the capacity we have. Okay, then I will do that. Then if I need more comments from you, I will tell about that. But that subject name is not total quality management, quality management. Quality management. Under that, more pages have been allocated for TQM, about 40 to 50 pages. That is one main part. Okay. Then next one, you are there again, no? Under 1.8. Right.
For the like environment and the culture is the culture must be the organizations strategies and extended environment.
Yeah, briefly explain the roles of each. Managers, the employees, and others should respect and follow the cultures. They should behave and work as what constitutes the culture of the organization. Because senior manager should follow that. In even a vision, mission, values are the culture actually. Vision, missions, goals, objectives should fit to the values, shared values. As of annual reports, things in the annual reports of companies can be read and understood. But sometimes deviations can happen. We should not misunderstand it. Always things should be based upon the culture. No such meaning. We have managers can deviate whenever it is necessary. In our lives also same, no? We know that there are strong cultural values we should follow as Sri Lankans, but always we don't follow them, no? strictly. When they're going to be in there, but we know that he or she is an adult, then we try to respect in a way. We don't worship them. That's the in an organization also. Participants should know they are flexible enough to work according to the culture. Right then, Gautam, 19.
External environment. External environment is outside the boundary organization that has a potential effect to the organization. So usually two types, task environment and general environment. Task environment we can call as a direct environment or micro environment. General we can call as an indirect or micro environment. Task environment is closer to the organization. Normally is consistent customer suppliers, competitors and labor markets.
Athenian. You are from Athenian, David.
We can expand our ways to more categories. Technical, economic, social, cultural, political, and legal. We finally learn quickly type of competition. We can divide it into external as external and internal. Externally, we can adapt to the culture, human culture. Internally, we can take the human culture and culture.
Yeah, these are two types of cultural orientation. That means two types of changes. Managers can do two ways of changes or two approaches to the change: internal approach and external approach. So be careful in using these words, especially in writing for an exam. Writing when you write for an exam. But you with your friends and others, you can talk using a friendly language. But in an exam, you have to use an academic term, very specific language. 21. .com has come. They also have .com. 21. I have not taken a name also, it is not available. Only number is remaining. 21. They are not coming to this class. Let's see, no. Anyhow, I don't delete that. I will keep them and I will check on other days. Vitanagi, 2.
There is also major influence in organization and management practices. There are 6 forces: global force, and the natural force, economic force, technological force, and then the social and cultural forces, social and cultural forces, and then political and legal force.
Finishing this today also we will reach 4 o'clock. No time to study, please. .23. The other day again .com. Today. Those are some. No online, no. Online members came late, no. 24. Online, I think 24 is the online last.
Yes, sir.
What's your learning point?
I will take a learning point from last week's session. It is okay.
Okay.
Learning from the last week learning point, the management perspective of the over the time. The recent historical perspective, we have categorized one as a technical driven workplace. It includes CRM, outsourcing, supply chain management, etc. We are using CRM for capture the customer details and outsource some non-controlling activities, and use a supply chain management software to cover all the process from the raw material to finished goods.
With after sales services.
Yes.
So they are as
And
well.
after service. Yeah, yes, sir.
What's your name, surname?
In Mohammed Impas.
Mohammed. I will use that
Okay.
before you Mohammed, no? Mohammed is the first one. Right. Next one, Ahmed. You are Mohammed. Next one, Ahmed. 25. Is a physical name. Ahmed. Today.com, no? Absent. 26, 27, both are .coms on the last day. On the first day. Today also same. Absent, no? Khalid. 28. Khalid, no?
Learning point is scientific management and the physical perspective of management. There are three perspectives and a physical perspective. Scientific management, bureaucratic, organization, and the administrative principles. The scientific management refers to the main aim of the scientific management is to improve the efficiency.
No, she told that. But you can say, can you brief present the bureaucracy to remember? One told about the scientific law. To add the new knowledge for the audience. Oh, about the administrative. Some of them now need not to give the full features. You are disturbed now. Huh? Oh, can you highlight some weaknesses of scientific management? I already explained. Oh, you have to use your brain. Then some of the elements mentioned in the next one can be taken as the weaknesses, no? They might come because of that, to fill that. Oh, one or two weaknesses of the scientific management. Then it would be a new knowledge for you. Not told by another member today. Otherwise, no motivation. Overall, what is the possible weakness of only using scientific management? Today also we have to use them, but if you use only those, what are the uncovered areas in performance or in human behavior? I gave the answer now. Or can you give some principles among 14 principles introduced by Fayol, no? And the administrative principles or administrative theory? That's how your latter part of your explanation should be. Otherwise, it is the same one as she told.
Will you explain the mental environment?
Now we change the track. Okay.
Mental environment can be divided into internal and the external environment. Internal environment factors which can be controlled by the entity, and the external environment which can be controlled by the entity. Internal environment includes a manager, employee, and the culture. External environment can be divided into task environment and the mental environment. task environment include customer, supplier, competitor, and the labor market. Macro environment include global environment, ecological environment, social and cultural environment, economic environment, and legal and political environment.
Right. Okay. Next time, try to pick a new pointer. Then you can plan this, no, at home. You can do sometimes he come in here if somebody has told that before you, then you have to change the plan. Yeah, that's how managerial behavior should be developed. You have to always predetermine things, but the determined thing should be changed later. There is another skill capacity you can develop here in this activity. Right, 29 to 30 have dots on the first day. About today, 29 to 30. I have not mentioned the names of these two. They are not today. Yes, online, by online. Randika, 31.
So it is general environment, corporate culture. There are two types of corporate cultures. First one is civil culture and second one is municipal culture. Civil culture means culture that is based at the surface level. Samples are company vision and mission. Municipal culture means river values and
Not only is mission, those are not the good example for the visible part. Buildings, lands, furniture, logos, colors, vision statements, which can be seen. Likewise, behavioral patterns of members, how they communicate with each other, all can be seen, observed. Right. Those are some examples to the artifacts. First part. Right.
Visible culture means river values and share understand by people. Example is believers of the
Those are very psychological things, abstract things, no? The members believe. We can't touch that, no? We can't see, no? But the action behind that can be seen. That comes to the artifact. Perceptions, motivation, those are inside, very psychological. But that's the most more difficult part in culture, more difficult to understand and deal with. Right, then 32 had a dot.
Hi, sir.
On the first day you were absent, no?
No, I was there.
Right. Then what's your name?
Farhan.
Use name?
Mohammed Farhan. Mohammed Farhan.
There's another one, another Muhammad.
Yeah, it's a Mohammed is a surname, sir. Common name, that is.
Yeah. Then how to distinguish you and him?
You can call me Farhan.
What?
Farhan, Farhan. Farhan.
Farhan.
Yeah.
There was a same name in a previous page. Farhan.
Yeah.
Right. What's your learning point?
Sir, today learning point is changes in the economic and political environment, like a general environment, will have impact on internal environment, like in comes to like employees and managers. Example, like if the economic condition of the country get worse, or like a political environment, in economic environment is worse, like inflation is high, interest rate is high, then employees are expecting more salaries. And when the political environment is not good, in the sense the people will leave, like a migration will be there, they are leaving the country. Based on that, we have the company having a less workforce to make them in work in the country.
Right. This is a tricky question. I am asked additionally. How you say Mr. Imran Khan's imprisonment?
Sorry, sir.
How
I did not
you, Mr. Imran Khan's Pakistan's
Yes.
imprisonment? How you evaluate that?
actually it gives that country having it shows that the country politically unstable. So the investors who are coming from other countries, they might reluctant to invest in that country, because even the prime minister, they can take under jail or something, so that if someone is going to invest their money, so the risk is like very high in that country.
Thank you very much. That is a good answer, right? Okay, you love him, no? No,
Yeah,
it's a personal thing.
No, sir, no, sir.
Okay. Right. As a cricketer, we love him.
Yeah, as a cricketer, we know him. Yes.
Right. Next one, Hasim.
The second point is administrative principles provided by Henry Taylor comes under early historical trend. So there are actually 14 principles or theories, mainly division of labor, authority of responsibility, free duty of command, duty of worker, coordination of individual interests to organizational interests, remuneration of staff, self-regulation, color of pay, order, equity, stability of staff.
Okay. I need not to tell everything, but in an exam, it should be done. No? Here, you can present some. Right. Hasim, no? Right. Next one, 34.com, 35.36. Today, one of them at least is available. Numbers are 34, 35, 36 plus 2 digits. No. I will put notes for today as well. Jayashant, 37. He presented on the first day. You are the one. No?
Don't put an element of the environment of the management. So the environment of the management classified into two categories. One is internal environment and the other one is external environment. And internal environment means they include the element of the within the organization. So it consists the current employee and management and especially the culture of the organization. So external environment means it's all elements outside the boundary of the organization. So we have a potential to affect the organization. So we can classify it as we can classify it as task environment and general environment. So the task environment means it's closer to the organization, and it has influence, direct influence to base of the operation of organization.
Right. Next time, note select a huge area. Right? Select a new point, small point. Gunaratna, 38. Presented on last first day. You are from Teams? Via Teams? No. Right, then today, Dr. Kalashini, 39.
External environment. There are two elements: task environment and general environment. And the general environment, there are 6 elements. One is international, technological, social, cultural, economic, natural, legal, political.
Right. Farhan was there on the first day. I have mentioned in another place. Then I will take that, collect that into the same place. 32. Right. Farhan. Right. Okay. Then Kalashini, what's your first name? I am using the surname one, that is in the list. Right, then that's the ones I have taken down. Then there can be remaining ones in the physical class as well as the online. Then if so, one by one, please do your task today. Give in your name and a number. Who did not participate now? From this class? All part? Yeah.
Suki, I'm Suki.
What's your number? Earlier you were not here. No? Right. Before coming back, we started. Right. I think that may be the reason. What's your name? Veera Singh? What's the number? Last two dots, 2 digits. I have not mentioned a name as Suki before. Huh?
It has no number.
No number. What's the name?
Suki Veligamagi.
Suki?
Veligamagi.
Veligamagi. I will use that. This is the first time you are
Second.
answering.
First time.
You earlier you did not answer, no? That's it. Veligamagi. Right. What's your learning point?
And point is recent historical trends.
Mm.
Under that, there is a concept called total cost management.
Mm.
It is mainly focused on how to deliver better products to customers. And when it comes to total quality management, it has 4 elements: employee involvement, customer focus, benchmark, and continuous
Right.
improvement.
Since it is a big area, different people can talk on that differently even on a day. You also present new things now. But those are not only the 4 principles, there can be more. Yeah. Then use the TQM. The managers should have the TQM people should have these perspectives: long-term orientation, proactive approach, systematic, then continuous orientation, then customer satisfaction should be understood as the key. That's the core. These are different orientation of to tell TQM. There are TQM oriented situation or organization. That's how we distinguish TQM from quality management and other quality. It is never ending nose. It happens as a journey, never ending. And everybody's involvement is a must. Another one. Everybody should, not only production, all other departments also should have the responsibility for TQM. That's how philosophically it should be understood, right? Likewise, any others remaining? Yeah, you are a first comer. Yeah. We didn't have quiz the end of the first day. Then those people have the disadvantage. Right. Anyhow, it is commonly applicable to everybody. Right. Similarly applicable. Right. What's your name? Soisa. Right. Then can you share your learning point for today from today? Yeah, those are some examples for the effects of natural environment. No? Then company managers can have contingency plans, no, as main solutions for getting ready for these natural environmental consequences. For a power crisis, what is the best solution? A firm to have one solar system or a generator and have shift basis. Now, grid has been improved, no, with power synchronization, no? Even with the power cut, that technology gives power, no, continuously with solar synchronization, no? It's a different circuit gadget. Not only backup, working as a backup, it is improved, no, from the backup stage to the synchronization. Likewise, any others remaining? No, you all occupied today? Right, then online members, anyone remaining to answer? You all answered today? I think so, right. Right, then I'll have the total count up. Today's class. $25 is the total figure. Is it correct? Okay, no, right, then almost 4, no? At least, but you have to leave, no? Sharply at 4. What is the situation? This is the last class for today. The problem is you also personally took more time to finish the quiz. That is one, and this. The usability of this, no? Takes a little more time compared to our already adapted one. You all signed here, no? Right, then I need to count this and compare. It gives only a rough guide, not the exact check, no? Must check it. Physically, you are answer during this. All these case studies, some of these, most of these have come to the past papers also. When we do revision on the last day, again, these should be discussed. But if you have done this priority, then I am not discussing it again. If you have discussed these now in some classes, then we can save time. We can discuss more other questions on the last. But now things are accumulating, no? The third day. Then you know teams, no? We form teams for your team assignment. Now all teams with the help of the leader might be working now. First task is to gather information, facts over on those 10 concepts, given concepts. After that, type in at the typing guide, writing guidelines. Finally, everybody should know, plug together, go through the first draft and include it. As an auditor, this is a long case or not a short case. There are small case left in other lessons, but this is the one applicable for the things we have done so far. If I do this, this first case very quickly, it could be boring to you. It could be a discouragement also. I need to take enough time, no, to this first case. Then this is page number 42. No? On 12, on page 12, there's one I asked you to refer and take out. That's great. This one. This is the better way to illustrate the significance of the three skills introduced by CARS as managerial skills, 2 levels of management. Can use this one. It is here on page 12 of the ebook guide. uploaded. The blue color power field is in this blue. Right. First one have a rectangular like this. Then from the corners have very what is called parallel lines. Then automatically the two other shapes will appear. But we have to have levels also. It is can be done easily. Then vertically you will identify these three levels, looking at the vertical differences of managers. Then with this exercise, the significant influence of these three skills via management levels would appear. Right. Then it says all managers need to have a similar length of human skill, no? Because they work with people in above and below, no? Right, then when you consider this, as we discussed, top level managers need to have more conceptual. This is the highest area. Then next, middle managers, then lower managers need the least of that. Then this goes in the other way, as explained to this. Top managers need to have wait. Yes. Top managers need to have these technical skills. Then lower level managers need to have more technical skills. Like that. But all managers and people need to have